All right, TDS Queen here. We have a lot to cover today. So basically, I watch Midas Touch Network and IHIP and Jack Cocchiarella. I hope I'm saying his name right. So if you don't want to sit through, all of their videos and get super stressed out, I pretty much watch all of them for you and summarize the news of the day. So first thing that pissed me off today is the affordability, when he's going on how it's a new word. Yeah, of course it is for him, because he's never had to worry about affordability. He's never had to think, oh, can I afford to buy this? He just buys it. So yeah, it's a new word for him. So I just paid $3.49 for gas, which was $3.99 the other day. So it came down 50 cents, but bet you it goes back up for the weekend. And I went to a very inexpensive store around here that used to be inexpensive, and I bought 19 things for $70.17. Cereal, $4.79 for a small box. Let's see what else. Chicken breast, a pound of them, $6.77. Hot dogs, $4.79. Yogurt, $6.99. Ground beef, 80%, 80-20, $6.99 a pound. You have not done nothing to do anything about bringing costs down and affordability. To come on TV every single day over and over again and lie and say that you have is just slapping people in the face. It really is. It's absolutely ridiculous. The next thing. I forgot what podcaster it was. Who really cares? It was some right-wing guy that's famous or whatever. But he was talking about women. And the misogyny in this party is just astounding. So anybody that's a woman and is still a MAGA supporter, they want you basically barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. That's the gist of what I got. He was talking about how, unfulfilling it is for women to have a job and a career, and you might think it's fulfilling and to make money. Yeah, you're going to make money, but who are you going to watch a sunset with? Basically, you're wrapping up your entire identity in being a wife or a mother. Like, that's all you're good for. That's your whole identity. That's it. That's all you can be, and that's all you can hope to be. And it's just so fulfilling to be that. Okay, I am a stay-at-home mom right now and a wife, and I love it, and it's important to me, but that's not my entire identity. Okay, I want the option to be able to go to work and make something of myself and advance in the world. Like, I want that to be an option. Maybe I never go back to work. It doesn't matter. At least it's there, and I'm respected as a human being. It doesn't matter that I'm a woman. I mean, it's just awful. Like, just the way that they talk about women is just horrible. I mean, I want the choice to be able to do anything that a man can do. It's just ridiculous. I can't believe people can still support that. The little thing, when they came on Fox News and showed his rating today, it said on the screen his rating was 38%, and the announcer is saying, and his rating is low and it's 39%. No, dude, we can see it right there. It said 38. Like, they'll just lie right to your, right when you're even seeing the number is lower than 39. Just can't let them have that 1 point lower, and hopefully it's going to continue to drop. So, frickin' Jesse Waters, man. He was asked by that one lone poor woman Democrat on that panel of 5 people, why did they move Maxwell? Why the special treatment? You know what his answer? I don't know. I don't care. You should. You freaking should care. Like, how could you see that as anything other than Trump administration trying to cover the Epstein thing up? Because that's exactly what it is. This is the worst human being, okay? This is a woman who used her, femininity and motheriness to lure girls into sexual slavery. Like, I want you to imagine that you are one of the victims, or your daughter is one of the victims, okay? She finally gets locked up. Somebody is answering for these crimes, and your president sends his lawyer to throw softball questions at her that she lies about, and then moves her to a minimum security prison where she's getting all kinds of perks. Like, how gut-wrenching would that be? You would just feel absolutely awful and just zero fairness in the world. Our justice system has failed these women, and it's just horrible. Now let's get on to the meat of this that's irritated the crap out of me today. Okay. Epstein. We should never stop talking about this, and I'm never going to stop talking about it. Okay? Originally, in the beginning, Pam Bondi, what did she say? Well, number one, what did Trump run on? Releasing the Epstein files. I'm going to release those Epstein files. I'm going to release everything. JFK, MLK, I'm going to release the Epstein files. Oh, yeah, I think I will. You ran on that as a campaign promise. But just like everything, you've lied about everything to everybody. Okay? So, ran on the promise he was going to release the files. Then they came out with those stupid little fake binders that said Epstein files on them. And then Pam Bondi said the client list is on her desk. And then all of a sudden, then there was nothing to investigate. They had this investigation shut down. Do you not see what happened here? Trump tried all of his usual tactics to keep this from coming out, okay? First with the bullying. Only stupid Republicans would fall for this. Then it's typical, it's a hoax, it's a Democrat hoax, it's fake news, there's nothing to see here, folks, look over here. I have a country to run, don't look at me. Taking Boebert into the Situation Room, where I'm assuming probably blackmail was tried, because, we know he goes that route. And any questions from reporters, never answered. Told, quiet piggy, or you're fake news, or that's a nasty question. But now there's things to investigate. You want to know why? Like I've said before, because they're going to try to stall this by saying they can't release X, Y, and Z because, there's an ongoing investigation or there's national security issues. And no, you aren't protecting victims, okay? Like you lie and say that you are. They want the files released, okay? And they blatantly break the law daily. But now Caroline Leavitt says, we're going to follow the law when she's asked if they're going to release every single thing. Oh, well, we'll follow the law. Well, guess what? It's going to be a criminal offense now not to release the files. You want to pull the ongoing investigation card? There's provisions in this bill that are going to make it really difficult to do that, okay? It's narrowly tailored to what constitutes an investigation, and there's a time limit on this. They can't just prolong it forever. So the truth is going to come out. And also, they have a subpoena for the Oversight Committee. Now, they might be able to pull this stunt with like pick and choose and cherry pick whatever they want to release, like all Democrat names, but they can do that for the House and the Senate, whatever. But for the House Oversight Committee, they can't. They have to see everything. So it will come out. There's no stopping this gravy train, and it's going to be freaking glorious. Saddle up, partners. And the fact that he kicked all the press out when he was going to sign it, is he going to sign it, is he not going to sign it? I mean, obviously he ended up signing it. We all know that now. That's unheard of. The most transparent president in history, give me a freaking break. You kicked the press out when nobody even saw you do this. Like, I wish I could have been a fly in the wall in that White House, because he was probably going ballistic. Like, how are we going to stop this? How are we going to stop? We have to, I can't have my name out. Oh, it's a shame it didn't give him a heart attack. But, he didn't have to do any of this because, he's making this out to be his idea and everything. And in a minute, I'll actually read the little truth lie social that he put out. He had the power to release this all on his own. It didn't have to get like this. They shut the government down and didn't sign that congressman Grijalva. They because she was the signature that was needed to release the Epstein files. He could have done this by himself. He's the president. He could unclassify anything he wants. Remember, he said he could just think about declassifying things and they'll be declassified. He could have done this on his own. But now he's trying to twist it around. See, they're trying to rewrite history where, I told the Republicans to do this. This was all my idea. I wanted it released. If you did, you would have just done it. You didn't have to go through all of this with the Senate voting and all of that. No. And they did that by unanimous consent. That was freaking hilarious. He could have released it. His numbers are in the toilet. And if he didn't sign that bill, I think he knew he was done. He's done. He's done regardless. But that brings me to the trickery by Thune. So Maga Mike looked like a deer in headlights when they were following him around. Like, oh, what do you think happened? I'm very troubled. I'm very disappointed. Because he said that he had talked to Senator Thune, and they had both deep concerns about not adding amendments to this. There were supposed to be amendments in the Senate, but that was to throw it off. They were going to try to put some stupid things in there, I don't know, to protect Trump or something that was going to kill the bill, I'm sure. And that didn't happen. So somebody lied, and I love it. If it was Thune lying to Maga Mike to let his guard down so that he would run to Trump and say, don't worry, me and Thune have talked, and there's going to be, amendments in there, and they're not going to, it won't go any farther than the Senate. Don't worry, we'll protect you. That's not what happened. So somebody lied. Either Maga Mike Johnson is lying to us, saying that he talked to Thune, or Thune lied to Mike Johnson saying that he was going to put amendments in there. But they did a unanimous consent so that nobody could stop it. And that was glorious. So again, maximum transparency, my butt. This has been going on for 10 years, okay? Somebody said, this has been going on for 10 years. If something was about Trump, we would have known about it. BS! How long was Epstein doing this and no one knew? These are rich and powerful men that have abused, women and think they're above the law. So no, why would we know? It's just, this is the biggest cover-up ever. They want to say that it's all Democrats hanging with Epstein. Well, guess what? Trump was a Democrat back then. Registered, was a Democrat. So I guess that includes him, doesn't it? Which brings me, sidebar, to his stupid little post that he made that I just can't with this, okay? It's a long one. Jeffrey Epstein, who was charged by the Trump Justice Department in 2019, not the Democrats, was a lifelong Democrat, donated thousands of dollars to Democrat politicians, and was deeply associated with many well-known Democrat figures, such as Bill Clinton, who traveled on his plane 26 times. Really? How many times did you travel on his plane? Better yet, how many times did you travel on your plane? Because I hear from his brother, it was quite a bit. Larry Summers, who just resigned from many boards, including Harvard, sleazebag political activist Reid Hoffman, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, who asked Epstein to donate to his campaign after Epstein was charged. Okay, you should look that up, because the story behind that is really something. It's like some kind of like mass email. Nothing ever was donated. They happened to be at the same dinner. Just another BS nonsense rewriting of history. Democrat Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett and many more. Perhaps the truth about these Democrats and their associates with Jeffrey Epstein will soon be revealed, because, this is the cherry, I have just signed the bill to release the Epstein files! As everyone knows, I asked the Speaker of House, Mike Johnson, and Senate Majority Leader John Thune to pass this bill in the House and Senate, respectively. No, you freaking didn't! Because of this request, the votes were almost unanimous in favor of passage. At my direction, the Department of Justice has already turned over close to 50,000 pages of documents to Congress. Do not forget, and this is my favorite, the Biden administration did not turn over a single file or page related to Democrat Epstein, nor did they ever even speak about him. I'm sorry, when was Ghislaine Maxwell put away? Who did that? Democrats have used the Epstein issue, which affects them far more than the Republican Party, in order to try and distract from our amazing victories. Oh, listen to these victories. Including the great big beautiful tax cut bill for billionaires, strong borders, no men and women's sports, who freaking cares, transgender for everyone. What does that even mean? Do they really think, we want to make everybody transgender? Is he really that stupid? Oh my God. Ending DEI. Ugh. Stopping Biden's record-setting inflation. I already made a short about that. That's a lie. Lowering prices. We all know that's a huge, gigantic lie. Biggest tax and regulation cuts in history. Oh, goody. We can have poison air and water. Super awesome. Ending 8 wars. No, you didn't. Rebuilding our military. Knocking out Iran's nuclear capability. No, you didn't. Getting trillions of dollars invested in the USA. Lie. Creating the hottest country anywhere in the world, and even delivering a huge defeat to the Democrats on the recent shutdown disaster. Nope. For years, our great nation has had to endure Russia, 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 Ukraine, 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 impeachment hoax 1, impeachment hoax 2, diaper baby, and many other Democrat-created witch hunts and scams, all of which have been so terrible and divisive for our country. No, you are terrible and divisive for our country. And have been done to confuse, deflect, and distract from the great job that Republicans and the Trump administration are doing. The latest hoax will backfire on Democrats, just as all the rest have. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. Dude, the things I could say, but I'll try not to have a potty mouth, but yuck, please. He hasn't done anything, and you know what? Rather than admit, like, hey, I've made a mistake, my tariffs suck, I know you guys are suffering, no, we're just going to double down on the lie. Don't believe your lying eyes. Things are affordable. Everything's great. We're living in a golden age. La, la, la. People are pissed, and you can tell by how long they booed him at that football game. Nobody likes you anymore. You are a liar and a con man. Back to the news. I saw something about France meeting with Ukraine and giving them jets, and, you know, the French president, we stand with Ukraine. Just that simple sentence. Trump has never said that. He's always this both sides wishy-washy. Well, maybe Putin and maybe Zelensky, and then yelling at Zelensky in the Oval Office. It's like, dude, the kind of people that he supports, this is the, you know, the ending of my video, and the thing that probably got me as mad as the Epstein thing, okay? The Saudi meeting. This is who Trump admires. This is who he aspires to be, okay? The Saudi prince, whose country funded 9/11 and who murdered Jamal Khashoggi, that journalist from the Washington Post, who was writing unfavorable things, true things, of course, about the Saudi prince, and he had him dismembered and put in acid, okay? This is who Trump admires. Putin, Viktor Orban, Kim Jong-un, dictators, strongmen, war criminals. That's who he admires, because their followers are loyal to them, and they have unlimited power and ability to grift and con and steal and murder people and get away with it. That's who he admires. He doesn't want to help people. He doesn't want to help Ukraine. He doesn't. He likes these people he likes. If Hitler was alive, he'd admire him too. He's even said, you know, oh yeah, he did some great things. Yeah, great. Awesome. You are awesome. Look at how he treated the reporter in that room. I don't know if you saw that, but if you did, you should look it up. I mean, look how he treats reporters in general with his little quiet piggy and you're horrible and you're nasty and that's a nasty question and fake news. She asked a good question. She said, you meeting with this guy has a lot of 9/11 families furious, not to mention the killing of Khashoggi. His response, where are you from? What place, what news are you from? And she says NBC or ABC, I forget which one. And of course he goes, fake news, that's fake news, you terribly, fake news. And then he goes, well, I'll answer it. And he says, look, this was a guy, he's talking about Khashoggi. This was a guy that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like him. And he, talking about the prince, said he didn't do it. So whether you like him, didn't like him, things happen. Things happen. This guy was dismembered and put in acid. That's not things happen. That's not a SH happens moment. Like, oh my God. Like, it's just, it's sick. You can't support this guy. And she pressed him, who do you believe, you know? Putin or our intelligence, like about interfering in the election? Well, Putin says he didn't do it. Who do you believe? The Saudi prince or our intelligence that says he killed that man? Well, he says he didn't do it. It's obvious who he supports. He doesn't support Americans. He doesn't support American intelligence. He believes in his little dictator buddies and strongmen. Well, he says he didn't do it. I swear to God, Putin could shoot somebody right in front of him and turn around and say it wasn't me, and Trump would be like, well, he said he didn't do it. So, yeah, that's my news for the day. And it was a lot. It was a lot for me to take in. But I feel better today, so I was able to bear it, grin and bear it. But I will keep watching and keep updating you, and I appreciate everybody that watches. And if you do, you can leave me a like on my videos. I just hate him so much. I just do. And if you're watching this, I hope you do too. You all have a good night out there.